Good morning. I'm Tom Adams. My wife Anita and I have been members of this church since 1973.
And I'm also Tom Adams, and by amazing coincidence, I too have been a member of Trinity since 1973.
We've been asked to distill 104 years of combined membership into a 4-minute talk. We'll do our best. There's so many things that we could address this morning, so many great reasons to give to Trinity. We could talk about outstanding worship and music, or we could talk about Trinity's impact on the surrounding community and larger world through our mission work. But we wanted to use our time to express our gratitude to God for this campus, the home of Trinity, and for you, this congregation, for the enormous impact you've had on our lives.
One of my earliest childhood memories is of this man building a path through the woods from our house on Rockingham Drive to this church. As children, my sister, brother, and I must have walked that path thousands of times. There was Sunday school and choir practice, basketball games, and youth group. We played on the playground, and we learned to ride bikes and drive in the parking lot. To say that we were raised at this church and by this congregation is not overstating it one bit. My wife Melissa and I now live a little too far from the church to conveniently walk, but we have driven our girls up Howell Mill Road thousands of times for Sunday school and choir practice, basketball games, and youth group. To say that they were also raised at this church and by this congregation is also not overstating it one bit, and for that, we want to say thank you. And while I have traded all-night youth lock-ins for all-nighters with the Holy Smokers, none of us can imagine our lives without Trinity.
I think of all those saints who came before, who, with faith in God and generosity of spirit and resources, planted this church here in 1949, who nurtured Trinity's growth and welcomed our family when we arrived. I think of all the milestones we've celebrated here: baptisms, confirmations, memorial services. And I think about 23 years ago, this very day, when I walked my daughter down that aisle. Tom is wearing the tie that he wore that day, and he's so proud that it still fits. I think of session meetings, Sunday school, men's breakfast, habitat builds, and mission trips. But mostly, I look out at you today, I think of all the friends we've made along the way, who have nurtured and enriched our lives in more ways than we could ever express.
Emily Beaver put it beautifully back in August when she preached on the hymn For All the Saints, when she described the church as a single unbroken thread of faith stretching through the ages, binding us to those who have walked before, a thread not woven by human hands but by the everlasting God who breathes strength into the weary and carries us along the journey of grace.
Friends, we feel so fortunate to be on this journey of grace with you. As you consider your pledge to Trinity this year, we hope that you will consider the great cloud of witnesses who have impacted your life here and the milestone events that you've celebrated here. More importantly, we'd like to encourage you to look forward. Imagine our continuing life together as a faith community. Think of all the children we will help raise and all the opportunities we'll have to show God's love in this neighborhood and beyond. And imagine little Ruth Elliott, who we heard during her parents' commitment talk last week. Imagine Ruth Elliott standing here 50 years from now, thanking God for you among the great cloud of witnesses who helped raise her generation and kept Trinity strong during their time. Thank you very much.